I see people are tuning in. Welcome, Jindo. Say good morning. It's already noon here, but it's probably morning over if you're at the West Coast. Hey, what's up, Fuzz? How you doing, man? We're streaming also on the Rockfin. Better share this over to my Twitter so we can get more people over here. What's up, Geert Joe? Brooks. A Dingo, Ronwell. Looney by Nature. What's up? Yeah, so I guess we can start today by I'll let you guys know like why I was out. Pretty much, if you've been following me for a while, like I just started what like this channel was started in April of last year, and then I was slowly growing, and then all of a sudden, boom! I get like there's like one video. It was the one where I was calling out people who were against forced to vote that just hit so many views. It got like over 20,000 views, and then I picked up over 1,000 subscribers. I jumped from like close to 500, and I went all the way to over 1,000. Then I went to 2K, and then more than 3K, and then more people were interested in coming on my show. I started getting more attention. And so I started getting more feedback from audience members. And because it was like a sudden jump, and a lot of things were also happening. Like I was going to all these events on the ground. I joined the MCSC network. It was a lot of things were happening so fast, and it just became a little bit too overwhelming for me. And at the same time, I wasn't keeping my diet in check. Like I was eating really irregularly, and that affected me. Like when I've had a gut problem for a while, and when your gut is tied to your mental state, if you didn't know, there's a connection there. And so I was like, okay, things are happening really fast. I'm feeling really anxious. I'm scared of like just having the spotlight put on me. I don't like having the spotlight put on me. I have this channel because I want to bring people together. I want a message to spread, and I just have to get out of my comfort zone and put myself out there and try to help inform people. There's these great informers out there with great channels that I admire, and I think a lot of them do a fantastic job. But there's not many of them that are how do I put it? Like they let their egos get in the way too much, and they get into a lot of like little spats and beefs here and there. It's fine and all, like it's natural, but I want to mitigate that. That's why I like having people on my show with different perspectives, and that's why I like doing panel discussions. But yeah, I needed a break from that. Things were happening too fast. Plus, with the field that I'm in, you're reading and you're watching all these negative stories all day. Like everything I was like throughout the whole day, I'm like listening to something, listening to news, and I don't know. It takes a toll on you after a while. And I needed some time to just recharge and get my mind off of politics. So I haven't been keeping up too much with the news, but from what I've seen, when I started slowly getting back into things, I saw that AOC's been giving money to corporate Democrats and Democrats with ties to the CIA, which is not surprising if you've been, objective about AOC. But it's been crazy. So just to get back into things, I wanted to do this Ask Me Anything and have you guys like ask me about, my thoughts on things. If you want to share an article and you want me to read it here, I can read it. If you want me to watch a video and react to it, I can react to it here. Just to get back into the game and, start informing myself again, because I've been out for a couple days. MF Doom, what's up, man? Ashley, MF Doom, I am tired of the two-party illusion. I am tired of it. There needs to be more people out there that are breaking people out of the two-party illusion. There's a lot of independent channels out there that their message is still within the two-party illusion, because they're like, oh, the Democrats are the lesser evil, so at least you can like support them over the Republicans. Like, no, like it's still, they're both still imperialist parties. They're both paid by the same people, and the people that claim to be grassroots and progressive, we see how they still do the bidding of the majority of the people in their party. So please, guys, if you know something, if you know about the two-party illusion, then try to help break people out of it. Don't force it on them, because then that'll be counterproductive. They're going to be resistant to it. Just tell them, just give them information. Give them information, and then eventually they'll break out of it. Josh Davis, what's up, man? It was nice meeting you at the DC protest that we had a couple weeks ago. Said, are you coming to the Assange protest in DC this weekend? I will. I will be there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you and other people that live around my area. Carnation Revolution guy says there's a lot of cognitive dissonance and frustration and a lot of toxic people wasting our time and bringing us toxicity and offering no solution. Yeah, there's a lot of confirmation bias porn for what Steve Poikonen likes to say. Like, a lot of these channels, they just tell you the obvious thing, like what you want to hear, just giving you the news, and it just becomes so repetitive, and then it's just like, it's confirmation bias. Like, it's things that you're not surprised of hearing. So that's why I want to try and do things differently on this channel. That's why I try to do the panel discussions, and I try to get to know people first by interviewing them one-on-one, either on camera or sometimes off camera. And then the thing about the panels also is I try to make it be a good fit. I can't have somebody on that is just not going to have a good chemistry with, the other guests on there, It usually works out well, but I want to make sure that we have a good conversation flowing and that nobody's feeling left out during the panel discussions. Colin, what's up, man? You said you're jealous of my hair. My hair is hard to manage. That's why I wear a lot of hats sometimes, because sometimes it's like all over the place or it's sticking up and it looks ridiculous. SLV, yes, Biden has failed tremendously. What the heck is the difference between Biden and Trump? I've yet to see any difference other than rhetoric. Brooks, you, me, and Pedro need to get together and get some food, Brody. It's been too long. Yeah, it has been a long time. Like even back home here, I haven't been spending too much time with some of my like close friends. I become like a workaholic ever since I started this. Like, don't get me wrong, like this is my passion. I love doing it, but I get so invested in it, and I guess that's part of a reason for why I started feeling depressed and overwhelmed with things. And I don't know, I just wanted to take some time on my own, just recharge and get my mind off of things. But yeah, we do got to get together. For people who don't know, when I started creating content, it was with HMO Podcasts. And Brooks Warren, who's in the chat right now, he is a co-founder of HMO Podcasts. They do a lot of great work. They're also part of the MCSC network. They cover news that doesn't necessarily have to be political news. It's just, pop cultural news. And they're also great sports commentators. Brooks is a great journalist for sports. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and sub to HMO Podcast. So Ronwell, he's been a long time follower of Frank Analysis. He says, "Do you know about Independent Green Party, and that is started by Chad Wilson and others? If so, how do you feel about the party? And do you support the Ventura McKinney ticket for 2024?" Uh, I'll be honest with you, Ronwell. I have heard of the Independent Green Party, um, but I'm cool with Chad. I support what he does, but as far as supporting third parties, I'm not gonna put my energy on there. I'm not gonna put my energy on third parties because none of them have a concrete solution for how we're gonna overcome the election integrity issues that we have in this country. And so, in order for a third party to be successful, it has to naturally evolve from movements coalescing. That's what I've been saying about Movement for a People's Party. Movement for a People's Party put the cart before the horse. They have a great idea for being a party that tries to put all different kinds of people together, except rather than it just be like one ideology. That's a great way to do it, but remember, we have to find a way to get people to come together first. What it seems like with Movement for a People's Party or Independent Green Party is that it seems like it's mainly one ideology, and bringing people together to have one ideology. With movements, you have a whole bunch of different ideologies fighting for different things, and then they start going to each other's protests eventually, and then we get general strikes, and then they start meeting each other and they start saying, okay, we have more in common than we actually thought. And then naturally we can be like, okay, solutions can be brought up. People start brainstorming with each other, and then they say, if a third party is ever going to be successful and we take down this duopoly, we have to apply maximum public pressure to get rid of all these unnecessary election laws that make it so hard for third parties to win. And so in order to do that, you have to have election integrity activists that are a part of your movement. And I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that with any of the third parties, including, unfortunately, I don't see that with Independent Green Party. We gotta stop thinking that election electoral politics are what's going to save us, or putting our hopes in candidates, and that includes really well-meaning people that say the right things. Like Jesse Ventura, he says the right things. Cynthia McKinney also says the right things. They both have great records, but we can't just put our hopes and our wishes and having these people to save us. It has to be on us. Like, we are the ones that are going to save ourselves, not other people. So take initiative to do something, inform people, help build communities, help organize, help build communities online so they can translate to on the ground communities. Because when you rely on other people like Jesse Ventura or even like Tulsi Gabbard, who I supported in 2020, it's kind of like giving an excuse for why you're not doing enough, and you're hoping for that one person to do everything for you. You have to be the one that takes action. Garden Gnome, when are you going to join the TYT network, Frank? When are you going to commit all super chats to TYT and get serious about reform? Never going to join TYT. They're corporate news. I'm not joining any corporate news outlet. Man, TYT, what a joke. They were the gateway for a lot of people. They were my gateway. Like, I listened to TYT all the time. Like, when I first got my, I guess, political awakening, because of Bernie Sanders' message, when I realized, okay, we can't really get anything done because all these corporations are buying off all our politicians. Before Bernie ran for president, I didn't know that. I was buying into, okay, it's the Republicans that are holding the Democrats back, and that's why we can't get anything done. So TYT, to me, it felt like something completely different from what I was used to with mainstream news. And then I saw that they were also growing a lot during the 2015-2016 primaries. But I mean, I'm glad more people are waking up. I'm glad I woke up from that. It seems so illogical how they just jumped from supporting Bernie to supporting Hillary Clinton when she stands for everything against what Bernie stood for. It's not. They weren't in Bernie's position. Like, I understood Bernie's position at the time for why he endorsed Hillary Clinton, because I was like, okay, he's just doing this so that he doesn't get a lot of hate for when he runs for president in 2020, so that he doesn't get blamed for Trump winning if Trump wins, and then Trump did win. But in the end, he got blamed anyway. Bernie Sanders got blamed for Trump's victory anyway. I think the best thing he could have done at the time was just to organize outside protests, and a third party probably could have won if he took the right approach of it, and not have it be have the main focus of the third party be of getting money out of politics. So that way you can garner support from some of the conservatives who are also tired of the duopoly. But we know that didn't happen, and TYT just, I don't know if they keep getting worse or we just keep getting smarter and they just keep seeming dumber to us as time passes by. Dirtbag leftist. During the Bush administration, I was listening to Alex Jones and TYT. Alex was more anti-war and anti-establishment. I could probably see that. I don't listen. I'm not too much in the loop about Alex Jones, other than I've seen like funny clips of him here and there. But I know that when he first started out, he helped expose some things. Like he helped expose like the little ceremonies that were happening in the forest with that burning owl. Uh, so I mean, he did expose some truths. Same thing with TYT. They expose some truths, but then a lot of their talking points is just repeating what the mainstream media says or what the State Department says. And so what is that? What is that called when you give some truths, but then everything else is just like what the State Department wants? That makes you a limited hangout. And so that's what TY direction because of that. But then they get confused and they think that everything that they say is going to be true. Alex Carlos, I went out and campaigned door to door in the California's 22nd district. I think it was for Jank when he was running for Congress. It was an absolute joke, and he was so cringy. So you helped campaign for Cenk Uygur? He had a horrible run. If he were to get in, seeing how he toes the line, and he allegedly, from what Jimmy says, like he agreed to moving to the center for TYT after they took the Katzenberg money. He was just going to be another sellout if he became a congressperson. He's going to be just like the Justice Democrats. We're not gonna vote our way out of this. Fuzz, do you think that there is too much focus on AOC as an isolated politician instead of the opportunist tendencies that her and the fraud squad commit to educate and prevent a repeat of her campaign coming again? We have to just keep reminding people of that it's not going to end with AOC. Like there's going to be more opportunists out there like her. And so we have to beware. The next AOC may sound better than this AOC. The next AOC may be someone that is currently exposing AOC right now or saying that they're going to be better than AOC. That's why I'm saying don't put all your energy in supporting politicians. But yeah, the reason why there's a lot of focus in AOC is because there was already a lot of focus to begin with. She was the most popular squad member. She has the most followers on Twitter. And so people are focusing on her to try to wake some of those people up, some of those people that are still following her, still supporting her. Like you see her tweets, they still get thousands of likes and retweets. And it's not just with politicians like her, it's also with all these other synthetic leftists. Like I see Vosh still gets like over 5,000 likes and retweets from repeating State Department talking points about China. I see Jank, I see Emma and all of them still getting a bunch of likes and retweets. But seeing how their viewership is going down, though, I think they're losing popularity because of how long they've been around. I think people are bored of them. We have to be careful with these new synthetic leftists like Vosh and all these other bread tubers out there. And a lot of people in the communist YouTube community are doing a good job at exposing people like Vosh. But also some of us, like some of the non-communist channels, like I don't know what I wouldn't label myself. I don't know what to label myself. I agree with a lot of what communists believe in. I have communists on my show. I talk to a lot of communists off camera and I learn from them. But I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to put a label on myself on what my ideology is. But a lot of these channels out there, for example, like everyone at the MCSC network, I don't think anyone really puts a label on themselves But we gotta be exposing people like Vosh, and all these other new people that are misguiding people, because we want to guide these people in the right direction. The algorithm is helping these people out. The Twitch algorithm is also helping these people out. So, and you guys, the audience, also are doing a great job helping us expose these people. So we just got to keep doing it. It's just exposing misguiders is really important to do. That's why I do it, and that's why I think every channel should do it. It's not about starting drama or anything. You're trying to guide people into the right direction. Because how are we going to get anything effectively done if we have all these people that are believing the lies that these synthetic leftists repeat? Ricky Rants, what's up, brother? Thank you. 1916, definitely Nina will let us all down big time. Well, she'll only let you down if you believe that she's going to do anything effective. But we've learned from AOC, and now a lot of people are who used to have a lot of faith in Nina Turner are not having faith in her anymore. I'm seeing a lot of people now saying, like, exposing Nina Turner now before she even becomes the Congresswoman of Ohio. Less Bones, am I gonna stream on Twitch in the future? I don't know. I might do it just to help inform those people. But from what I hear, growing on Twitch is a lot harder than growing on YouTube. But we got to do what we can. I got to get a new laptop or computer first, though, because streaming on multiple platforms takes a toll on my computer. Yeah, I've been doing all this with the same laptop, this little laptop. I'm gonna have to upgrade soon, but I'm only just getting started. I'm not making enough to have to make a complete living off of this. Like, I have to do other things on the side of my life so I can make ends meet. So I'm over at the Rockfin chat right now, and I prefer you guys to be at the Rockfin chat. Let's help promote Rockfin. I mean, a lot of us are going to be removed from YouTube soon. Ryan Christian from The Last American Vagabond just had his backup channel removed. He's still lingering around YouTube, streaming on, like, he's found ways to stream on YouTube still, by going on other people's channels, and it's really creative. Like, it's on channels that have only like 40, like less than 100 subscribers. He switches off here and there, but I think eventually YouTube will catch on to it. And it starts with the people that are exposing COVID, and then eventually it's going to reach other people that are exposing a lot of truths, and we're going to be off of YouTube soon. And so we're going to have to spread the word about all these other platforms like Odyssey, like BitChute, like Minds, and like Rockfin. But if you really want to help out people like me so that we can make a living off of this, and so we can focus, the majority of our time on informing you and informing ourselves, so then we can then deliver the news, then Rockfin is the best way to go. Rockfin is the most fair platform for creators. And thank you, Fuzz. New PC energy. Yeah, Fuzz just gave me a super ray. So Primecat says, meditate, exercise, eat healthy, and reset. Exactly. I think everybody should try meditating. Spirituality gives a good balance to your life. It helps you understand yourself better, and it helps you understand other people better. It helps you see the world more objectively. And that's what I've been trying to do during this time that I've been recharging, is trying to meditate more, understand myself better, asking questions. Okay, why is this upsetting me so much? Why is this so important to me? Why am I overthinking about this and making myself feel bad over it? And then I just think, like, is it worth it? Will I let it go? Would I let it go? When will I let it go? Acceptance is the first step in letting things go. You just have to accept that there's going to be things in your life that are going to make you upset. And yeah, exercise. I try to go to the gym as much as I can. I go 5 to 6 times a week. But if you don't have to go to the gym, you can do sports. You can do all different kinds of exercise, eating healthy. These oligarchs and multinationals, these capitalists are putting poison in our food. They're putting all these ingredients that don't need to be there. They adulterate our food, and we eat this, and then over time it accumulates, and then we have all these hormonal problems, and we're all depressed. And then we wonder why, and it's because of the food that we're eating. And I understand, like, a lot of us, we feel trapped because a lot of us are poor and we have no choice but to eat a lot of these unhealthy foods. The system is just, it feels almost impossible right now to break out of it, but it starts with informing people. Then you understand the way that the system is trying to kill you, literally. And then you let other people know. And then the more people that know, that's how movements start. But look, even if you don't have enough to be like a vegan, to make a living off of being a vegan, like, you can still you don't have to like buy like organic vegetables. You can still get vegetables that are not, labeled as organic, and look up recipes online that are more healthy than, eating McDonald's or eating KFC on a regular basis, because over time that's going to affect your mind. It's going to affect your health, and then that affects your mind, and you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be strong enough to fight against the system. Alan Nelson, thank you very much for the super ray. Hi Franco, I just switched to Rockfin to the stream. Thanks for the reminder. How confident are you that platform like Rockfin and Substack will be able to remain independent and promote heterodox views? Well, as far as Rockfin, I know that it's a cooperative. It's a worker cooperative. So people like me, people like Nico House, people like Graham Elwood, Jimmy Dore, everyone who's on Rockfin, who's a content creator on Rockfin, will have a say if Rockfin does try to sway into that direction. I don't think that they will, though. I don't think that they will. They, like, the creators of Rockfin, they have similar political views as us. So I don't think the likelihood of Rockfin selling out is that high. Plus, there's a lot of us here on the platform that are going to be keeping them in check. Yeah, Josh Davis said yoga too. Yeah, yoga helps also. There's a bunch of different kinds of yoga. Being involved in politics is really stressful. So yeah, being spiritual, being healthy, exercising and all that gives a good balance, so that you can keep that energy when you're out there being an activist, informing people. Alex Carlos, we need more revolutionaries over reformers. I highly, highly agree with that. Again, I'm still going to keep bringing on people who I disagree with, who are more of reformers, because we want to convert these people. If we're just going to be fighting with them on Twitter and stuff like that, we're not going to progress like that. There are some people that feel like they're beyond the pale, or they're hard to reach because they're just really big and arrogant. They don't want to come on small channels like this, or they're just clearly bad faith. we can just let them, like, we just have to expose those people. And then there's other people that are, around the level as me or other people, and I'll invite them on. Most of the time they disagree to come on, but pretty soon there is someone I reached out to that's going to be on the show that I really don't agree with on a lot of issues, who still likes AOC. But look, I'm bringing them on so that they can hear things in a more civil way, because it's really hard to convince people on Twitter. Twitter is like a shitstorm. So I'm taking my chance to bring them on here and hope make them understand, and also have me understand why they think the way that they do, so I can be a better persuader, better mind changer on these people. Carnation Revolution TYT has its roots in CAA even before the Katzenberg money. That's right. That's very true. Robbie Yeager has that classic article that exposes these people. And then there's people out there that are like, oh no, those people aren't in charge anymore. Those people in CAA and UTA, they're not in charge. Like, it's still a talent agency with agendas. It doesn't matter if the same assholes that sent out those emails to Tulsi Gabbard in 2016 aren't there anymore. Like, they still have an interest. Like, that corporation still has an interest, and all those people are on the same email list, and they don't want to ruin that contract. Thank you, Les Bones, for the PayPal link. Yeah, the best ways you guys can support me are linked in the description also. Les Bones just shared my PayPal link. There's also Venmo. There's Cash App. I know that PayPal has been, just to let you guys know, if you don't already know, PayPal has been censoring people and being really shady when they bring up the word Syria. If you watch Richard Medhurst's channel, he was saying that there was he had an audience member that sent him money, and they had the word Syria in it, and I forgot what it said. I think it said or I don't remember if it was about Syria or Palestine. I'm pretty sure it was about Syria, but I think it was like love for Syria or whatever. And then PayPal was like, didn't allow the money to process, and it was like, why is this being sent through? Like, they were trying to imply that it's like there's some kind of like terrorism involved just because the word Syria is brought up. Whenever these things happen, like with Patreon also censoring Whitney Webb, then we all got to talk about it. We all got to be aware of this stuff, because if we don't talk about it, then it's going to get worse. And then if we're not getting our money, then we're not going to have the time or the energy to be delivering the news. If it keeps happening, though, then I might have to jump off of PayPal. But it's really unfortunate that they're targeting us where we make our living. We make our living off of independent donations. There's also my Bitcoin wallet, my Ethereum wallet. You can follow me on Odyssey. And of course, on Rockfin, you can donate tips. And you can subscribe if you want to subscribe. And if you don't already know, if you subscribe to someone on Rockfin, then you get the premium content for all content creators on there. And it's $10 per month. And again, you can just do it 1 month, and it would be really helping out the content creator. Fuzz, what's your go-to feel good food? Mine is spicy wings. I love eating fries. I love I do like chicken tenders also. Um, Man, I have a lot. I was eating like when I was doing these streams, I made the biggest mistake, and I was eating like after them, like late at night, and I was having like either spicy ramen or spicy pho, and I think that really messed up my stomach. Alan Nelson says, "I'm out of the loop on this one, but what happened to WW? What's WW?" Embo Medfe, when Bosch demonizes China, what makes him different from Trumpers? Exactly. It's just repeating State Department talking points. And yeah, Trumpers, they fearmonger about China too. We got to point that out. The hypocrisy. Alex Carlos, who wants Jimmy taken down? Vosh wants Jimmy taken down? Just JC, yes, he wants him to cover conspiracy so his channel will get taken down. His end goal is silencing the left. Why? Who wants Jimmy to cover conspiracy theories? Me. What conspiracy theories do I want Jimmy to cover? What are you talking about? Address the the awful diatribe you unleashed on Jackson on Twitter. All right, so this is something that I have not addressed. I have not addressed since we had that panel discussion with Jackson and Ali and Glory. Like I've been saying from the beginning of this stream, and what I've been doing since early on when I was making videos like months ago, long before I ever met Jackson. I would have panel discussions. I would have people on that don't agree with each other. If you guys don't know who Izzy is from Big Talk Little Talk, there's so much that I don't agree with that guy on, but he's still my friend. That guy's like a hardcore conservative now. He supports the Republican Party now. My friend Charles of the Lone Wolf podcast, there's a lot that I don't agree with him on, but we agree on a lot of things. He's an independent. We had a disagreement on the taking down of statues during the summer of last year. I've had plenty of people on who I don't agree with on everything. So, and we would have these panel discussions, and I wasn't the only person having these panel discussions. My friend Izzy, whose channel I don't go on that often anymore, he also had panel discussions. He had me on. All of us didn't agree on everything, and we would just give our perspective on things. And so I wanted to keep doing things like that, and I still do that. Like, I have different people on. Like, I have Unapologetic on. I have Tom Coffey. Like, all these people, like, they're well-meaning people, and we're not going to agree on everything, but we agree on the destination. We agree on the end goal. And then the best way to do it is not to like shut each other off just because you have like one little disagreement. So what happened with Jackson is, when I was covering the MPP stuff, I was bringing on some volunteers. I wanted to get their side of the story first. And then I was going to have the leadership on and ask them about This is what these ex-volunteers said. Can you address it? It's being fair, right? Isn't that what journalism is? Hearing from all sides, trying to be objective, not just presenting one side. But leadership refused to come on. They didn't reply to me, or they said that, sorry, we're not going to go on. So then I couldn't get leadership on. And eventually what happened? My most recent MPP video, I had volunteers who are still in MPP, come on and give their side of the story. How is that not fair? And so Jackson was defending MPP. And I had Jackson, I was like, hey, there's these people that are saying these things about MPP, that they were ex-volunteers. Let's talk about this petition. And I want to hear the research that you've done. And so he came on and he addressed, his research, his interview with Annalise. And I think we both learned things from each other. I learned things from the research that he did, and he learned from me, the research that I did from the things I heard from the volunteers. And we both agreed. I was like, I would love to see a panel in which I bring on the leadership from MPP and these ex-volunteers so we can make amends. And, they don't have to continue on the same path, but at least, there's some wounds that are healed. Because we're bringing them together, they're addressing things, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys feel like you were being left out of this movement. They just talk things out. Jackson agreed with that. And there was another thing that we were talking about that day when I had him on, and that was, let's talk about the importance of electoral politics versus activism. What should we prioritize more? And he said, yeah, I would love to be on your show to talk about that. He's the one that said that. And I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And since Jackson really liked the idea of Movement for a People's Party, I was thinking, oh, okay, he might bring up some arguments for why we should focus on third parties. And I was thinking, okay, who are some people that don't believe in electoral politics, and that they can bring up their side, their argument. And I also want to give women a bigger voice. And so I thought I could have brought on Steve, I could have brought on other people that don't believe in electoral politics, but I thought I wanted to uplift more female voices, younger voices. So then I thought of Glory, who is on her journey right now in discovering, she's on her political journey. She doesn't believe that electoral politics will save us. And so I wanted to bring her on too, so she can give her beliefs. And I also wanted to bring on Allie, who's also on a similar boat. And so I brought them all on. And I thought we were going to have a good civil discussion. And what I was not expecting was Jackson to get so upset when we started giving our constructive criticisms about MPP. And I mean, you can look at the stream for yourselves. Look at the body language that we were all displaying. I'll let you guys be the judge of it. We also gave constructive criticisms about Jimmy Dore. None of us on that stream dislike or don't appreciate Jimmy Dore. We all of us said we love Jimmy Dore. We think he does a great job. But is he perfect? Is he above criticism? Of course not. We're gonna say things that some of the things that we wish he could do better. If you've been keeping up with what channels like The Last American Vagabond or writings from Whitney Webb, the things, and Derek Bros, the things that they've been exposing about COVID, I think should be discussed more. And that's one of the things that we brought up, is like, we wish Jimmy could cover some of this stuff more, at least bring some of these people on. But could it be that he's afraid to have these people on because his channel might get demonetized or removed for bringing these people? Who knows what it is? But the things, we're voicing that out there. And just because we're voicing that doesn't mean that we want Jimmy taken down. Doesn't mean that we want that we don't like him. Jimmy does a great job. He does a great job at what he does. But again, that doesn't mean perfection. So we were voicing that, and Jackson was getting upset about us voicing our thoughts on that. And at the end of the stream, I was letting everybody know, I was like, hey, I love you all. I love you all, audience members. I know there's people that disagree out there also. I love you guys too. And then at the end of the stream, usually when interviews finish, since a lot of you guys are audience members, I don't think you guys have ever experienced things like this, but when you have interviews with people and you're doing a live stream with other people, when the stream ends, those people don't just leave. They stay on and we talk a little bit more. It's like, hey, yeah, that was a great stream. Yeah, I liked, what you said here. Yeah, I think that. And then you help build like a connection more, like after streams. You talk about like, oh, this is what if you want to have me on again, you can have me on again. Like it's just civil discussions are talked about after streams. Friendly discussions happen in all my experiences of having people on. Jackson is the first person who, after a stream, he immediately left. He didn't want to ask us, hey, I felt uncomfortable about, what you guys said here, blah, blah, blah. Like he just immediately left. He immediately left. And then he went to Twitter and accused us of ambushing him. How is that an ambush? This is bringing on people with different perspectives is something that I've been doing long before I even met him. How is that an ambush? And so I told him, I'm like, no one ambushed you, brother. Let's not have these spats here on Twitter. He never reached back out to me. And I'll let you guys decide, like, the way I felt with the way that he was talking to Glory and Ali, I found it disrespectful. I felt disrespected when on my show. It doesn't mean I hate the guy now. Some people just have their days. Sometimes siblings just fight. Like, we're not literal siblings, me and Jackson, but hey, I'm not gonna like hold a grudge over him for that. If he comes out and apologizes to me, then I'm not gonna hold back and not forgive. And then the next day, it was like the next day or 2 days later, he went after Nico House. He went after Nico House for he subtweeted about his Nico's friendship with Jack Posobiec. If you guys don't know, Jack Posobiec he's a right winger and people call him racist. There is like photo evidence of him using these like code words that have to do with like racism. But the majority of people that I see that are upset with Nico being friends with Jack Posobiec are other white people. I'm not saying that there's no black people that are upset with it, but I do see a lot of white people trying to tell, other black people like Nico who they can and cannot talk to. I'm not going to tell Nico who he can and can't be friends with. That's on him. I personally am not going to be friends with Jack, but if Nico feels like he can be friends with him, then that's him. He chooses to do that. If Nico doesn't feel like he's being disrespected by this person, if Nico feels like he's not being mistreated by Jack, then It's his business. It doesn't mean that Nico's message changes because of who he hangs out with. So Nico replied to him, and then I was just like, I got into that spat also because Jackson was not seeing what he was doing. Stirring up drama with other leftists, people who helped him out during Forced to Vote. Like we gave like me and Nico gave speeches at the Forced to Vote events that Jackson helped organize. But that was one of the things that added on to my stress. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that's one of the reasons for why I took my break. But it was mainly a lot of things that were just adding up, and I needed some time. I'm not used to so much going on in my life like that. So again, yeah, I needed some time off, and I do feel a little better. I might take things slow. But yeah, it's a combination of a lot of things, absorbing all these negative stories for a long time, not giving yourself a break for a long time. But yeah, I have no hate at all for Jackson. Like I said earlier, if he wants to reach out and apologize, talk this out, I'm open for it. We're on the same side, right? But yeah, that did need to be addressed though, because a lot like that live panel just happened, and then nothing else was discussed ever since then. Nico talked a little bit about the Jackson comments made against him that were on Twitter, and one of his Ask Me Anything streams for like a little bit. But as far as the live panel, that happened here on this channel. Hey, what's going on, PCG? PCG is a good friend. He's been on this show before to talk about nuclear energy. A. says the frustration with third-party movements and politics on the defending it side is confronting the effectiveness of it. Similar to the idea of defending the side against engaging in electoral politics, neither side can defend their perspective in achieving substantive political or policy gains. I'm trying to understand what you meant here. Hey, what's up, Oz? Oz is here. Oz from Roar Media. You guys should check out that channel. I've been a guest on there twice already. They have a lot of great guests. Their channel's really fun. uh, they go through a lot of different slides, different videos, and we just like give our comments on those videos, current events that happen. Um, I was on there. What day was that, Oz? Monday with my friend Charles of the Lone Wolf podcast. I love doing shows, like being on together with like people that I've been working with since I first began this channel. There's that familiarity element to it. Me and Charles collaborated when we were both like really small channels. All right, so yeah, we're about like an hour in now, so I think we can close off here. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. It's my first time doing like an AMA, like Ask Me Anything live stream like that. This is more of like it's not me like delivering exclude like just the news. It's not that kind of live stream here today. Like I said, I've been like my mind hasn't been on politics for several days just because I needed some time to recharge. But I might do another, like in my future Ask Me Anythings. It could be more like news delivering focused. Like I'll be able to talk about certain topics that happened recently more. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, we all need some balance in our life, and the spirituality does help. Meditation, exercise, eating healthy, whatever it is that you got to do to stay healthy, to stay happy, to be at peace with yourself and with the world. There's a lot of negative things going on right now, but we need all of us need to be as healthy as we can so that we can fight to make it better. There's a lot of work out there for us right now. A lot of us are waking up now, and realizing that we have a lot of things have been left unfought for many years. And so because we left it unfought for a long time, it's going to be a really difficult battle, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. Thank you guys so much for joining again. Ways that you can support me and the show are linked in the description. Rockfin is the best way. If you've not yet followed me on Rockfin, please do so. You can make a free account and consider subscribing for $10 a month, and you get premium content to all the content creators on there. But yeah, I love doing this, guys. I love giving you guys the news. I love having different people on with different perspectives on my show, because we want unity, right? We want unity, no more division. Take care, everybody. Stay informed.